Welcome back. Please like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Good morning. Today we are looking at a major shift in the world of technology. The 2026 India AI Impact Summit has just concluded, and the scale of the announcements is truly impressive.
It certainly is, Alex. The biggest news came from Google CEO Sundar Pichai. He announced a $15 billion investment to improve India's AI infrastructure. This includes massive data centers and a new undersea cable to connect the United States and India.
That cable will be vital. It will speed up data transfer between our two nations, which is a key goal for President Trump's administration as we strengthen our digital ties with India.
Exactly. During the summit, Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke about India's vision. He said that India does not fear AI. Instead, they see it as the foundation for better government and a stronger economy.
Local leaders are also making big moves. Mukesh Ambani, the chairman of Reliance Industries, announced a massive $120 billion plan. Over the next 7 years, he wants to build huge data centers to make AI tools available to everyone, not just people in big cities, but in smaller towns too.
It is all about making technology accessible. We even saw a new partnership between OpenAI and GeoHotstar. They are launching a search tool that uses AI to help people find information in many different languages.
However, it wasn't all just good news. Many leaders warned about an intelligence divide. They believe that all nations should help create the rules and ethics for AI, rather than just using the technology built by others.
That is a fair point. This summit shows that the future of innovation is moving toward India and the global south. It is a steady, significant change for the global economy.
Thank you for that analysis, Jamie. It is clear that the AI landscape is changing fast. We will continue to watch these developments closely.
Welcome to our daily report. Today, we are looking at how the 2026 midterm elections are changing. For the first time, artificial intelligence regulation has become a top issue for American voters.
That is correct, Alex. In the past, voters focused on the economy or healthcare, but now two powerful groups are spending millions of dollars to influence how the government manages AI technology.
One group is called Leading the Future. They represent large technology companies. They are spending heavily on ads to oppose new government rules. They argue that too much oversight will stop innovation and hurt the economy.
On the other side, we see the Human-Centric AI Project. This group wants the government to be much stricter. They want companies to be honest about how their programs work, and they want companies to be responsible if their AI causes harm.
This debate has reached voters across the country. In many states, candidates are being asked about the Neural Sovereignty Act. This is a proposed law that would create national rules for AI. So far, these two groups have spent over $100 million to influence public opinion.
What is also interesting, Alex, is that these groups are using AI themselves. They use advanced software to create personalized ads for different types of voters. Critics say this makes it very difficult for the government to monitor if the campaigns are being fair.
Right now, the Federal Election Commission is struggling to keep up with this technology. Because there are no clear federal rules yet, different states have different laws. This creates a very confusing situation for the public.
As the primary season continues under President Trump's administration, one thing is clear. The next Congress will be defined by its ability to balance new technology with the law.
It is a complex challenge for the future of the country. Thank you for this analysis, Jamie.
You are very welcome, Alex.
Good morning. Today we are discussing a significant economic meeting held by President Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort.
Hello, Alex. That is right. The president invited the leaders of the world's largest banks and investment firms to discuss the future of the American economy.
The main goal of the meeting was to protect the U.S. dollar. With new digital currencies rising around the world, the president wants to ensure the dollar remains the most important currency for global trade.
To do this, he introduced a capital-first strategy. He is encouraging these large banks to bring their international money back to the United States. In exchange, the government will offer tax incentives to support American factories and energy production.
They also discussed how to make life more affordable for everyday citizens.
The president is asking banks to lower the costs of borrowing money, such as interest rates for loans.
In return, the administration is offering to reduce the number of rules or regulations that banks must follow. While many bank leaders are happy about fewer rules, some are worried that inflation could still be a challenge.
Finally, the president spoke about the Board of Peace. This plan asks private banks to invest in international projects that support U.S. foreign policy.
It was a very productive summit. We expect these ideas to become formal legal proposals later this spring. It shows how the administration is using high-level financial talks to achieve national security goals.
Thank you for that analysis, Gemini. It will be interesting to see how these plans affect the global market.
Thank you, Alex. We will continue to monitor these developments closely.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today, we are discussing a major development in the Canadian mining industry. The government has announced a significant investment in a nickel mine located in Manitoba.
That is correct, Alex. The Canada Growth Fund is providing $85 million for the Thompson nickel mine. This is part of a larger $200 million project to modernize 2 underground mines and a processing mill.
Why is nickel so important right now? Many people might think of it only as a simple metal.
It is much more than that today. Nickel is a critical mineral used to make batteries for electric vehicles and other green technologies. As the world moves toward clean energy, the demand for high-quality nickel is growing very fast.
This investment also seems to be about security. With President Trump currently in office, there is a strong focus on North American trade and production.
Exactly. Finance Minister François-Philippe Champagne mentioned that this move helps secure the supply chain. By producing nickel here in North America, Canada reduces its dependence on other distant countries. It also protects thousands of skilled jobs in the Thompson region.
It sounds like the government is taking a more active role in the economy. Is this part of a bigger trend?
Yes, it is. The Canada Growth Fund has already invested over $5 billion into various industrial projects. Their goal is to support large projects that are too expensive or risky for private companies to handle alone.
When can we expect this mine to be fully operational?
If everything goes according to plan, the project should reach full capacity by the end of 2026.
Thank you, Jamie. This certainly shows Canada's commitment to becoming a leader in the global energy transition.
Indeed, it is a steady step toward economic security and a cleaner future. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Today, we are discussing a major diplomatic event in Washington, D.C. President Trump has officially opened the first meeting of the Board of Peace.
That is correct, Alex. This new group includes representatives from more than 45 nations. Their goal is to create a long-term plan to stabilize and rebuild the Gaza Strip.
It is a massive project. The president announced that board members have already promised $5 billion. However, he noted that the total cost of reconstruction could be more than $70 billion.
What makes this plan unique is the board-style approach. Instead of traditional aid, this model treats reconstruction like a business. The nations that contribute money will have a direct say in security rules and construction contracts.
A key part of the discussion involves security. There is a proposal to build a military base in Gaza for 5,000 international troops. This force would help keep the peace and ensure that humanitarian aid reaches the people safely.
However, the plan faces some challenges. Some longtime allies, such as the United Kingdom and France, have declined to join. They're concerned that this new board might weaken the authority of the United Nations.
There are also concerns at home. Some members of the U.S. Congress are worried about a long-term military commitment in the region. They want to be careful about how long American resources will be involved.
Despite these concerns, the administration remains confident. They believe that focusing on infrastructure and multinational investment is the most practical way to achieve lasting peace.
It is certainly a new direction for U.S. foreign policy. We will continue to watch how these negotiations develop. Thank you for joining us for this update.
Thank you. We will see you next time.
Good morning. I'm Alex. Today, we are discussing a serious situation in Washington regarding government funding.
Hello, Alex. That's right. The Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, is facing a major funding crisis because negotiations have stopped.
The main problem involves new rules for refugees. The Trump administration wants federal agents to rescreen and potentially detain refugees who do not have permanent residency yet.
Republicans in the House are demanding full funding for these measures. However, Democrats are asking for changes to how the administration manages immigration enforcement.
Because of this disagreement, there is now a real risk of a partial government shutdown. The tension is also growing because of changes in other agencies, such as the recent appointment of Jay Bhattacharya to lead the CDC.
Yes, critics see these moves as a big ideological shift in how the government operates. On Capitol Hill, the atmosphere is very difficult. Administration officials are criticizing the minority party for blocking border security.
At the same time, Democrats argue that these new DHS policies violate the legal rights of asylum seekers. This stalemate is not just a political argument, it has practical effects on border staffing and national security.
To avoid a shutdown, lawmakers might try to pass a stopgap bill. This is a temporary plan to keep the government running for a short time. However, so far, neither side is willing to change their mind.
This standoff is very important. The final outcome will likely set the tone for the rest of the president's plans for immigration and security.
We will continue to watch this story as it develops. Thank you for joining us.
Goodbye for now.
Good evening. Today we are discussing a significant legal development in London. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, formerly known as Prince Andrew, was arrested this Thursday.
That is correct, Alex. The arrest happened on his 66th birthday. It follows a long investigation into millions of documents related to the late Jeffrey Epstein.
The specific charge is misconduct in public office. Investigators are looking at the year 2010. At that time, Andrew served as a trade envoy for the British government.
Yes, and the main concern is whether he shared confidential government trade reports with Epstein. While Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, the release of the Epstein files has given the police new information to review.
This case is drawing a lot of attention, both in the UK and here in the United States. With President Trump in office, the relationship between our two countries remains a priority, and the public is watching how the legal system handles such a high-profile figure.
It really brings up the question of accountability. Many people are asking if the law applies to everyone equally, regardless of their former royal status or social standing.
The British government has stayed calm. They stated that the police investigation must remain independent. However, groups that criticize the monarchy are calling for a full public inquiry.
It will be a complex process. There are many legal questions regarding international evidence and how to define misconduct in this specific context.
We should expect this case to be in the news for a long time. It represents a serious effort to find the truth behind the Epstein era.
Indeed, it is a major test for the justice system. We will continue to follow the story as it develops.
Thank you for joining us for this update. Good night. Good morning. I'm Alex. Today, we are reporting on a very serious and tragic event in Northern California.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie. We are looking at the Sierra Nevada mountains, near the town of Truckee. On Tuesday, a massive avalanche occurred, and it has sadly claimed the lives of 8 people.
This is a devastating moment. Experts say the snowslide was the length of a football field. It is now being called the deadliest avalanche in California's modern history.
That is correct, Alex. Search and rescue teams are working very hard, but the conditions are difficult. Heavy snowfall and unstable ground are making the search slow. Currently, 1 person is still missing.
The victims include local residents and tourists. This loss has deeply affected the mountain community. Jamie, what do the experts say about why this happened?
Well, it was a combination of factors. First, there was record-breaking snowfall. Then, a sudden change in temperature occurred. This created what experts call a persistent weak layer in the snow. Eventually, the snowpack failed, causing the disaster.
In response, the National Forest Service has closed several high-risk areas. There is now a strong push for better safety education and stricter warnings for skiers who go into the backcountry.
Local residents are also organizing vigils to honor those who were lost.
While the community grieves, there is a serious debate happening about the risks of extreme winter sports.
It is a sobering reminder of the power of nature. For now, the focus remains on finding the missing person and supporting the families during this painful time.
Our thoughts are with the community in Truckee. Thank you for joining us for this update.
We will continue to follow this story. Goodbye for now.
Hello, everyone. Today we are discussing a major breakthrough in medical science that could change how we understand aging.
That's right, Alex. Researchers have developed a new tool called the Alzheimer's clock. It is designed to predict cognitive decline many years before any symptoms actually appear.
It is a very impressive development. Essentially, the tool uses a blood test to look for specific proteins. By measuring these, it calculates the biological age of a person's brain compared to their real age.
This is the important part. Sometimes a brain ages much faster than the rest of the body. This study shows that the clock can identify early changes up to 10 years before a patient feels sick.
This is a turning point for doctors. In the past, many treatments were not effective because they were started too late. Now we have a window of opportunity for early intervention.
Exactly. This moves us toward the era of precision medicine. Instead of using the same treatment for everyone, doctors can now tailor care to how a specific patient's brain is aging.
It is also worth noting that under the Trump administration, there has been a steady focus on supporting American medical innovation. This tool is a great example of that progress in geriatric science.
However, we must also consider the ethical side. Knowing about a future illness years in advance could be very stressful for a patient. There are also concerns about how insurance companies might use this personal data.
You are right, Jamie. While the science is exciting, we will need clear rules to protect the privacy and mental health of patients.
Agreed. It is a major step forward, but one that requires careful management as we move into the future.
Thank you for joining us for this discussion. We will see you next time. Good morning. Today, we are discussing an important update in the world of manufacturing and environmental science.
Hello. Yes, it is an interesting story about two major companies, Canon and Teijin. They have developed a new system to measure carbon dioxide emissions with much higher accuracy.
To understand why this matters, we have to look at how things were done before. Usually, when companies calculate the carbon footprint of plastic, they use industry averages. This means they make a general guess based on what other companies are doing.
That is right, Alex. But now they are using primary data. This means they are using real, specific information from their actual suppliers. Instead of guessing, Canon can now see the exact amount of CO2 created during the production of their specific materials.
This is a significant scientific shift. They use a method called a life cycle assessment. This tracks the plastic from the very beginning, when raw materials are taken from the earth, all the way to the final chemical process.
It is already showing results. This new method is the first of its kind to receive an official environmental certification. By using real data instead of general estimates, Canon expects to reduce its reported emissions by nearly 3%.
While that number may seem small, for a global manufacturer, it is a major step forward. It allows them to make much better decisions about their supply chain.
It also helps them prepare for the future. Governments around the world are now asking for more transparency. Even here in the U.S., under President Trump's administration, the focus on industrial efficiency and clear reporting remains a priority for many businesses.
Exactly. This collaboration shows that when science and digital tracking work together, companies can reach their goals more effectively.
It is a great example of how better data leads to a better future.
Thank you for joining us for this update. We will see you next time.